101. I'm Greg Bassett, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. It's a big day here at PAC 14. They're all big, but we've got a big guest in the house, Fred Howard from Wor-Wic Community College. He's the Director of Veteran Services. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Greg.
So I keep hearing about your program. I hear all kinds of great things about it. So I wanted to know more about what you're doing out there with at Wor-Wic, with students who are veterans.
Well, we have many programs and resources for our veteran students. One of the largest that we have is a federal grant we received in 2017. Department of Education, 62 colleges were selected for this federal grant from across the country, so we're very fortunate to be one of the recipients. And that allows us to stand up a veteran resource center on campus with computers. We have tutors for the veterans if they need tutoring for their English and reading and writing math classes. All the services that would be provided to a veteran student to help them prepare for enrollment in college with the goal to be there for them, assist them to achieve their academic degree plan.
Now, there's a great history with this, with veterans coming back and rejoining college, going back to the GI Bill. And it's really an important thing because veterans, it seems, in a lot of cases, have some trouble adjusting back to society. Or is that just a stereotype?
No, there's actually a lot of truth to that. And being a veteran myself, I can kind of understand some of the reasons for that. Veterans locally here, as we see across the country, they all state similar reasons why that adjustment is a little different. And just highlighting a few of them, I think the bigger ones would be sometimes when they are part of a military unit or part of the military service for 4 years on average is what they do. That service time gives them purpose and meaning to life, and they meet people and they travel, and many of them see other parts of the country. They mature a lot. So when they leave the military and decide to attend a college and use their educational benefits, they sometimes just feel that even though they may be in a similar age group, there's a vast difference, a gap in their outlook of life and what maybe seems more important and whatnot. So the acclimation for them is a bit more challenging, not so much academically, but just more socially, if that makes sense to you. That's one of the things we do at the college is assist veterans with that adjustment and acclimation to a college setting to help them. We have a Veterans Military Association on campus, which is very large. We have a very nice, spacious veteran military student lounge where they go between classes, after classes, before classes to study and meet and mingle with other vets. We have monthly pizza days, all-you-can-eat pizza days, a lot of different functions that we do on campus to make them feel more comfortable, certainly make them feel welcome and appreciated for their military service.
Well, it seems like in the service there's a lot of camaraderie that goes on, and you've kind of created that same atmosphere on the campus.
It does feel that way, Greg. That's true. I am pleased when veterans and military students say that they feel that camaraderie on campus, and it's from Dr. Hoy, the president of the college, on down. The faculty, staff, everyone embraces our veteran and military students. It's clear to our students how much they are appreciated and respected, valued for their service. And by us having that Veteran Resource Center on campus and having a nice veteran military student lounge, they are places where the veterans military can go and continue to some extent that esprit de corps, as we call it in the military, and that camaraderie and connection. And that is important to them. And that, I believe, in many cases, helps them get through that education process and complete the end goal, which is their a degree or a certificate.
A lot of campuses are not friendly toward the military. Now, Wor-Wic Community College was just voted as a friendly institution toward the military. I know things have changed a lot. People have learned a lot. We've all learned to respect things in ways we never understood. But I think that's important that you guys have created some sort of a spirit there that's friendly toward veterans.
Yes, and I'm very pleased again and proud that Wor-Wic has been selected a military-friendly college by a national organization that specifically provides services for our veterans in America. And we've been selected top 10 community college in the country year before last. So not only were we selected military-friendly, but identified as a top 10 community college in the nation. That really was very pleasing to have that designation. But we've been designated 10 years in a row. We also have been designated 4 years in a row as a military spouse-friendly school because we also have, in addition to our veterans, we have local active duty military that are Coast Guard, mainly at Ocean City, Chincoteague, some of the surrounding Coast Guard stations. quite a few reservists, National Guard members, and family members. Oftentimes, the spouses and children of veterans are eligible for education benefits. So we have a sizable population of them as well. So at Wor-Wic, we embrace that whole military family, you know, the veterans themselves, the military, those still in the service, as well as family members. And I think those things and all the services that we provide to our veteran students is what helps us get that designation year after year. We've been able to set up processes at the college where it's a single stop for our veteran and military and family members. They can just come to our veteran service office for pretty much all the services that they would need to enroll in college and while they're enrolled at the college, instead of being sent multiple places, multiple offices and whatnot. And they truly appreciate that and like that, and that's one of what is considered a best practice models on colleges across the country. But many colleges, for various reasons, do not have a process set up like that.
That's really too bad. It's great that you guys do. How many students do you have in the program?
We average almost 300 students a year taking classes at the college who are in veteran status or, again, family members, military, and it's taking both credit and non-credit. As a community college, you know, we also offer some non-credit programs like the CDL truck driving and the police academy and whatnot. But we average about 300 per year. The Veterans Upward Bound program, the grant that we received in 2017, the one that is just, there's 62 in the country, we're one of the 62 colleges. We must provide service to 125 veterans each year for that grant. That's one of the objectives of the grant. And so far, we've been very successful in maintaining and achieving that 125 participant level.
I hear a lot about the Upward Bound program, but I don't know exactly what it does.
So Upward Bound is one of the Department of Education TRIO programs. It was created in 1972 in the post-Vietnam era. And again, as I said a minute ago, there are only 62 colleges in the country of all sizes. There's universities in Texas and Florida, Chicago, and little small rural colleges out in the Midwest and the Southeast, and Wor-Wic right here on the Delmarva Peninsula. So we're proud that we were one of 62 schools selected. But the grant is available to provide multiple services to our veterans who plan to attend college to help them prepare for enrollment in college. Whether it's helping them with their applications for their VA benefits, finding financial aid if they need additional financial aid, helping them get their military transcripts to see if they get college credits for military transcript, if they would benefit from some tutoring prior to enrollment in college. So the list is pretty long, and we connect with service providers on the Delmarva Peninsula, work with them to encourage veterans to come to the college and participate in VUB. The VUB, Veterans Upward Bound grant, is not specific to a generational veteran. Vets from Korea to the present day can benefit from our Veterans Upward Bound program. So it's for all veterans of all ages, all eras, regardless of when they served in the military.
And there is some tuition assistance available for veterans.
There is. The Veterans Upward Bound, we do not provide tuition assistance. That does not come with the grant, but there's multiple ways veterans can receive educational benefits attending college. The biggest one is what's called the post 9/11 GI Bill. That became the new GI Bill in August of 2009, and it's much resembles the original GI Bill of World War II. It pays the veterans tuition and fees in full, gives them a book stipend each semester they attend college, and it pays them a monthly housing allowance, which is sizable for this local area here. So, and in addition to that, they may also qualify for other financial aid. So that's available for our veterans, one of the programs. Our military can use tuition assistance. That's what I used when I was active duty, and the branch of service you're in will pay the tuition for the courses you take that's required for your degree while you're in the service. So that's available to our military, reservists, National Guard. We give a 50% tuition waiver to the Maryland National Guard students who attend our college. There's the Vocational Readiness and Employment Program. We have vets who have a medical disability rating. They're eligible for that program. It pays the tuition and fees in full, pays books in full, and provides other services. So there's multiple education benefits, even for family members. We've received a Department of Transportation, Federal Department of Transportation grant for 3 times now for the CDL truck driving. It's very popular. We fill that each year because that's available for veterans and spouses and children. So that's a very popular program on our campus to help veterans get their CDL Class A or CDL Class B driver's license.
Yeah, you see the truck around town all the time with the guys in training.
Yes.
And it's interesting, I noticed you used to have the floor cab truck where they had multiple people in there, but with the pandemic, there's just two guys, so it's a different tractor now pulling it. But that is a great example of the college recognizing a need in the community and creating a program that really benefits local employers.
It truly is. And CDL, I continue to see just in the employment for the nation, for all sectors of the country, seems that CDL truck drivers are in need, but that they provide the funding for veterans, I think, is especially pleasing because the course is costly, and if the veteran does not have educational benefits, their military service perhaps was before the 9/11, they would have to pay out of pocket normally. But in this case, this grant pretty much pays for the course in full for them. So another opportunity for the veteran to get that training and to get a job, and most of them choose to stay here on the shore. So it is a wonderful program for them as well.
It seems like the Criminal Justice Academy is one of the great things that Wor-Wic has. It houses it there. It's just an amazing program, great success, again, really benefiting local communities. And it seems like maybe that might be a natural track for veterans once they enter post-military training.
That's an excellent point, and you're right. We average 3, 4 vets, sometimes as many as 6 or 7 each academy on campus. I have 3 in the current law enforcement academy and 2 in the correctional officer academy. But it is a good fit. Many of our military, when they leave the service, they choose law enforcement or correctional officer training. And again, when they attend our academies on campus, they can use their VA education benefits while doing so. So that's another great advantage for them. And then many of them, after they complete our academy and they've been in the workforce for 6 months, a year or more, they return to our college and complete an actual associate's degree in either criminal justice or something else of their choosing.
I kind of wonder what the attitudes are like in the workforce among people that were in the military. What does it do to you having served in the military and then being in regular life?
Yes, I did do a career, retired after 22 years. And there is, again, adjustment for all veterans of all generations and ages. I'm younger than the Vietnam generation, but I remember too growing up as a kid and seeing and hearing the controversies of the war and some of the atrocities and troubles and whatnot. And I think many Vietnam vets that I know still kind of feel like they were never really welcomed home or appreciated,
Right.
thanked for their service. And I think to some extent that is very true. But the veterans, Vietnam veterans, many of the ones who I know locally, they certainly have full support for our current veteran military population. As one example, the VFW post here in Salisbury, post 194, just within the past month or so, they've created 5 scholarships for Wor-Wic Community College veterans, 5 individual scholarships, $1,000 each for our Wor-Wic veterans. So that is awesome. That is tremendous. That shows, again, that appreciation and respect for our current modern day veterans. I think many people in the community, I've never felt any type of like negative vibes from anyone for being a veteran. In fact, and perhaps it's because of the years I served, I've often felt nothing but overwhelming appreciation and respect. And I believe I see that for most veterans now. And I think many people now even are attempting best they can to show that same level of appreciation for our Vietnam era veterans as well. We all have that respect for the greatest generation, the World War II and the Korean vets, but Vietnam vets did sadly seem to take kind of that hit in the nation's social conscience. But I think, again, they're doing good turning that around. So, but I think too that most of the veterans, even the younger ones that I meet and engage with on a regular basis, they feel that they are respected for their service, but they also feel that they're just not understood. You know,
Right.
As a veteran, that you can't connect to me, you can't understand me, you don't know what I've done, where I've been, what I've seen. And whether it was war, a combat zone, or just regular military service, that military service does create different social norms in a way for a veteran as opposed to someone who's not served.
I am fascinated by the VFWs in our American Legion of town. You know, I grew up here, so I've just got used to it. But someone was just telling me recently that we're really unique in that we have so many VFWs in. We have the 2 VFWs in Salisbury. The one in Del Mar is very busy and popular. Plus our great American Legion post. And like you said, they really give back to the community. They're vital enterprises. And I think per capita, we might have more military veteran organizations in our community than just about anywhere.
I agree, and they are very engaged with vets of all generations. Frequently, before COVID, when we could still have our annual Veterans Day ceremonies and Memorial Day ceremonies on campus, which draws a large crowd, many come from the community. The American Legion posts from Ocean Pines, Ocean Cities, been active participants, sending in their color guard, their honor guard, their chaplains. We've had speakers from that post. So there is that engagement with multi-generational veterans, and they do give back to the community, to veterans, as well as just the community at large. So I have tremendous respect for both the VFW and the American Legion.
Now, you were in the Navy. How did you end up where you are now? Where are you from, all that stuff? How did you get here?
Well, I'm born and raised on the Eastern Shore, right here on the Delmarva Peninsula. Ancestors go back to the 1600s. I'm graduated from Washington High School in Princess Anne and attended Salisbury University back when it was Salisbury State College. Went there for 2 years, and then on a spring break journey in Florida one year, I decided that I thought maybe I was not ready to just stay in college and join the Navy, and ended up staying for 22 years. So then after I retired in 2004, 2006, I was in Virginia Beach, saw a position open up at the local community college and sounded interesting, veterans coordinator, and applied, and here I am, 15 years later.
That's great. Did you ever imagine the program would take off the way it has?
No, I did not. And I'm so pleased at the growth of our veteran services on campus, the expansion of all that we are able to provide to our veteran military and family members. It is a well-known, well-respected program, and I always compliment again the college, the president, Dr. Hoy, down for embracing our students, because that is so important. I have colleagues at other colleges, even here in Maryland, and being in different organizations from the various colleges across the country, and oftentimes that support and buy-in of our veteran military student population on a campus is not what we find at Wor-Wic. So I always give that appreciation to Wor-Wic, but we have grown many of our programs over the years. And in fact, right now, oftentimes colleges will contact me and they want to visit our college, and they take tours of our Veterans Resource Center, and they take tours of our Veteran Military Student Lounge, and they're taking pictures and filming it, saying we're going back to our college to see if we can have something like this for our students, as well as some of the schools would like to try to implement that one-stop process like we have at Wor-Wic's campus for our veteran military and family members, where they again can combine all of their service in one central location instead of the multifaceted campus-wide approach.
My experience was with people in the National Guard that I worked with, they would always try to get out of their being assigned because they didn't want to have to leave work and the disruption of their lives. And so I said to the mayor, I said, can't you get out of this thing? And he was like, Greg, why would I want to get out of it? And I was like, because it's going to screw up things in the city. He's like, I need to serve my country. I'm proud to serve. That's why I participate in this. I'm going to serve my country. And I was like, okay, I get it.
That is very true. We have had students over the years. In fact, I've had a couple just this past spring semester who were activated and sent across the bay during that unrest with the inauguration and the security of the Capitol. So they had to pull back from doing their semester, but neither one of them complained. They feel it is their obligation, their duty. That's what they raise their hand and swear to do, and that's why they wear the uniform, and they're proud to do it. Same thing with, I've been again at Wor-Wic since 2006, so I've been there through the years when some of our local National Guard members were called to active duty overseas in Afghanistan. I can't recall one of them that was upset or complaining or resisting being activated. They, like our active duty troops in most cases, understand what their role is, and they accept it, and they go willingly and eagerly in many cases, feeling that they are fulfilling their obligation to protect the country and whatnot. So I have tremendous respect for our National Guard as well.
And it's important for employers to get it so that when the person comes back, that they can move back into their job easily and that there's no disruption.
Absolutely, and similar too with colleges, we actually have policies again at Wor-Wic, which is it makes sure there's no punitive measures for them should they have to suddenly withdraw. We get their military orders that shows that they have to deploy, so we make sure that no bad grades for that and financial problems. So And the same with employers, you're right. It's that awareness, again, respect for those men and women who are serving in our National Guard and could be called at any time, whether it's a hurricane that comes up the coast or a national emergency like in Washington, D.C., or a deployment overseas in a war zone.
You guys have a great Toys for Tots drive every Christmas.
Yes, we do. We do that in conjunction with the local Staff Sergeant Cohee Marine Corps detachment here in Wicomico County.
And Trey Cohee was someone who was killed.
Yes. Staff Sergeant Trey Cohee was killed in action. He was one of the first casualties of our war in Afghanistan. In fact, coincidentally, I was stationed at the same Marine Corps Air Station in San Diego, Miramar, when that happened, and there was a large funeral service there on the base for him and all the Marines who died in that tragedy. And so the local Marine Corps detachment, they named their detachment in honor of him afterwards. But we work with them each year. Gentleman, that Andy Boma, awesome gentleman, he spearheads this annual Toys for Tot drive for the Lower Eastern Shore. And we do collect toys each year on campus, and again, very proud of our college campus in that for, I think it's been almost 10 years in a row now, they've recognized us for being one of the largest collection sites on the Lower Eastern Shore. It's generous outpouring each year. I have people tell me each year that they start collecting toys in the summer. Whenever they see toys on sale, they're buying them and they're stashing them in a closet or a garage, and then they're calling me in October saying, Fred, I've got all these toys for you. When does the drive start? So I said, usually the very first day when we set it up in the boxes, they're overflowing, and I'm calling Andy and saying, Andy, I've already got 3 boxes. And he's like, my God, Fred, you just started this yesterday. And I said, well, it's Wor-Wic. It's how we do things. But very proud to work with them, and very proud that we are doing this with a detachment in honor of a local Marine who was killed in action in Afghanistan.
I wrote a lot about him when it happened, and I'm just glad that you've done that because he was a great guy by all accounts. And it's great that we keep his memory going this way, just some way to remind you people, kids who don't know what happened.
Exactly. In fact, one of our Memorial Day services one year, we invited Trey's mother to be the speaker for Memorial Day, and she did, and she gave a beautiful story tribute to her son, both his childhood. She had PowerPoint presentation, pictures from childhood all the way up through when he went into the Marine Corps, and it was a very powerful Memorial Day ceremony when you hear from a local Gold Star mother who lost a son in battle, giving that story to the local. I had a lot of comments from folks after that ceremony on how touching and moving it is. And coincidentally as well, and being from the Eastern Shore, we know how this is. Some of our staff at the college went to high school with Trey.
Right.
They knew him growing up in childhood and through high school. And so each year they appreciate that we do a Toys for Tot drive in his name. But yeah, it's a very, very special thing that we do at the college, collecting toys.
You do something to recognize the veterans. They have some sort of a decoration on their gowns so that you can know who the veteran participants are. Yes,
we average 30 to 40 veterans per year graduating with degrees and or certificates. And as a gift to them when they complete a program, degree or certificate, when they graduate, they receive their respective military stole. So if they're a veteran, one side of it would say which branch of service, like Navy, the other side veteran. If they're in the reserves, it would say Navy Reserves, Navy active duty. We do give them that stole. And that's really special too, again, from funding that the college offers through the Veteran Services allows us to budget for that. And then we also have a Salute National Honor Society chapter on campus. We started that in 2017. It started at University of Colorado. I think it was like a grant-funded thing from Bill Gates, Microsoft, just to see how it would go. It's since taken off. There are over 400 colleges in America now that have a Salute National Honor Society chapter. And that's for veteran military students who have a GPA of 3.0 or higher. And it's tiered in 4 different groups. So each year we have ceremonies on campus for them, recognition ceremonies and induction ceremonies. And then at graduation they receive a real nice red, white, and blue cord to wear with their cap and gown. They receive military law enforcement too is big on what we call challenge coins, if you've heard of the challenge coins.
Right.
So when veterans and military students graduate from a college, they're issued a challenge coin, which they like because some of them are like, wow, I haven't had one of these, and they didn't think they'd ever get one after leaving the military. And then the Salute National Honor Society also provides them with a challenge coin. So even those smaller added touches that we do at the college like that, again, it is meaningful to our veteran and military students, and it's reminiscent in ways of what they saw and experienced when they were in the military.
How do you get people in your program? Are they just students who happen to be veterans and then they learn about it that way? Or do high schoolers know and make it part of their plan that when they graduate they're going to go into the military and then do Wor-Wic with the program? How does it evolve that way?
Well, it's a little bit of each thing you just said, but for the most part, most of the veterans who attend Wor-Wic, whether from the area, they graduate from high school, they join the service, and upon return home, they seek us out because they know most of them certainly know while they're in the service as well as when they're separating from the service that they do have educational benefits. So the majority of our veteran students will seek us out knowing that they have education benefits. They may not be sure what they have or how it works, but they know they have it. And the same with our National Guard and reservists. Family members who are eligible, they usually know that based, again, on if their particular eligible military member has the services. But one thing that has changed over the years, meaning like the past 5-6 years, I've seen a big change in this. Currently, as we speak, I have 5 active duty Marines, 2 in California, 2 in Japan. They're already communicating months in advance of even being separated. I have a goal when I leave the service to come to Salisbury, go to Wor-Wic. So they're starting a lot of that process in advance. Word of mouth is big, I'm sure, and we do some recruiting for our Veterans Upward Bound program. But for the most part, I would say at any given time, any given year, 90% of the veterans and military that we see, they come to us seeking us out on their own initiative.
Fred Howard, how can people get a hold of you and find out more?
They can either just stop by the college and visit me. I'm in Brunkhorst Hall on the 3rd floor, or they can call me at 410-334-2882, or they can email me at fhoward@warwick.edu. And if they have any questions, family members, anyone at all, any time period they've served, whether it was Korea War up to the present, oftentimes older veterans assume there's nothing there for them, but they're surprised sometimes to learn what educational benefits or other resources may be available for them that they assumed they had none because of their military service being so long ago.
He's Fred Howard. He's the Director of Veteran Services at Wor-Wic Community College, and a lot of great things being said about him and the program through the community. We're thrilled that you were here today, Fred. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about Wor-Wic Community College and what we can do for our local veteran, military, and family members. Thank you, Greg.
I'm Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent Newspaper, another edition of 101 right here on PAC 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and one-on-one. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.